Today, Sha'Carri is living up to her words that she's better, not back. In fact, the American sprinter sent a strong message reiterating her words of becoming better when she ran under 11 seconds twice in her second 100-meter meet of the 2023 season. In light of that, how is she faring so far this season as she's gearing for the U.S. Championships in Eugene? Let's start with the 2023 Texas Relays, where Sha'Carri Richardson and Abby Steiner, with their respective teams, battled to the finish in the women's 4x 100-meter relay. Sha'Carri Richardson, joined by Javianne Oliver, Twanisha Terry, and Teahna Daniels, finished in second place with a time of 42:10. Meanwhile, Abby Steiner, joined by Melissa Jefferson, Jenna Prandini, and Aleia Hobbs, finished in first place with a 41.75 result. She was joined by Melissa Jefferson, Jenna Prandini, and Aleia Hobbs. It may have been a second-place finish, but it was a good enough start for Sha'Carri, and she actually did better in her next race. At the Miramar Invitational in South Florida, Sha'Carri Richardson ran a blistering 100 meters, outshining everyone else. At the said event, Richardson, competing in her first individual 100-meter race this year, clocked a wind-assisted 10.57 seconds, 4.1 milliseconds, the fourth fastest time in history. And that is in all conditions of 10.57 plus 4.1 milliseconds tailwind. Notably, Elaine Thompson-Herah ran a 10.54 in 2021, and Florence Griffith-Joyner holds the record with a 10.49 that she ran in 1988. Her time equates to 10.77 with zero wind assistance. She took an early lead in the short race, passing two of the top three finishers at last year's U.S. Championships, Twanisha Terry and Melissa Jefferson, and celebrated by tossing her arms in the air at the last few meters of the race. It was a really great run, although Richardson's time is ineligible for any official world records because the race occurred with a 4.1 meter per second tailwind. Anything greater than 2 meters per second is deemed to be aided by the wind. Still, that's something else. She is something else. In fact, Sha'Carri Richardson left her rivals in the dust at the 2023 Doha Diamond League in early May. Sha'Carri streaked to 100-meter victory in the first Diamond League meeting of the season in Doha, setting a meet record with a time of 10.76 seconds.
Richardson, here comes Richardson. It's going to be tight. Richardson's going to get it. New meeting record. 10.77. The wind is legal. I said watch out for her.
What's more noteworthy than that was that Sha'Carri beat Jamaica's world 200-meter champion Sha'Carri Jackson with 10.85 seconds, while Briton Dina Asher-Smith was third at 10.98 seconds.
10.76, and Tori Bowie's meeting record has gone to her teammate Sha'Carri Richardson.
Actually, Sha'Carri's 100-meter win was probably the highlight of the event. Why? Well, that win made Sha'Carri the world's fastest woman so far this year after beating world silver medalist Sha'Carri Jackson of Jamaica. In addition, she's also second fastest in the world this year in the 200-meter when she comfortably took the 200-meter at the Moi International Sports Center in Kasarani, Nairobi, with a meet record time of 22.07 seconds.
Sha'Carri Richardson powering around the bend. Can she convert that into the straight? She looks tall, she looks smooth. Sha'Carri Richardson powers down this track here in Nairobi. She's got 40 meters to go. She celebrates.
In mid-May, Sha'Carri Richardson produced a dominant display at the Kip Keino Classic, the third stop of the World Athletics Continental Gold Tour. Just over a week after winning the opening 100-meter Diamond League event in Doha, Sha'Carri comfortably took the 200 meters at the Moi International Sports Center in Kasarani, Nairobi, with a meet record time of 22.07 seconds. Like, what? Sha'Carri Richardson surged ahead just before the final straight and increased her lead before slowing down and crossing the finish line with a margin of 0.7 and 0.75 seconds respectively, ahead of fellow Americans Kira Jefferson and Shannon Ray. Even with her celebration, Sha'Carri covered the 200-meter distance in a meet record 22.07 seconds. Richardson was quick out of the blocks and overtook the field by the end of the curve. Now Sha'Carri is at peace and primed for a 100-meter revenge in Europe. Once again, fast becoming fan favorite Sha'Carri Richardson is rolling into the U.S. National Championships as the fastest woman in America, in seemingly prime condition and hungry for revenge after previous trips to Eugene, Oregon ended in disappointment. But today, Sha'Carri Richardson's dream of a major title from the World Championships appears to be within reach, as she returns to Eugene with the second fastest time in the world this year, from a scorching 10.76 to win at the Doha Diamond League. Not only that, Sha'Carri won the women's 100-meter title at the first Star Athletics Sprint Series Track and Field Athletics event of 2023, clocking 10.73 seconds in windy conditions. She easily won her heat in Montverde, Florida, and continued her dominant form in the final 90 minutes later. Richardson's winning time of 10.73 seconds came with a wind speed reading of plus 2.6 milliseconds, which rules the performance ineligible for records. She finished 0.07 seconds ahead of USA's World Championship medalist Brittany Brown in second, and Twanisha Terry third in 10.82. All that said, is she finally ready to win gold at the Worlds? Well, many believe that it has been a long time in the making for Sha'Carri Richardson, and that just might be true. When she emerged on the national scene, winning the AAU Junior Olympics as a 16-year-old, it cemented her as the #1 ranked sprint recruit in the U.S. class of 2018. And just a year into her freshman year at Louisiana State University in the U.S., her announcement to turn pro was no surprise. The North American collegiate record holder had sped to a sub-10.8 seconds in the 100 meters and a sub-22 in the 200 meters on the same day, a first for women's sprints. She also posted an impressive 10.75 to win the 2019 NCAA. As the fastest woman in the U.S., she was seen as a top contender in the global sprints, then teaming with Jamaican depth. She was the immediate standout star who caused a stir. From her athletics exploits to her no-holds-barred interviews and her off-and-on track attention-grabbing displays. Then, the 21-year-old was the favorite heading to Tokyo after her jaw-dropping 10.72 at a 2021 meet in Miami, the fastest then and the 6th fastest in history. You know what happened next. But now that she's older, more mature, she's ready to tackle the world. In fact, sports fans think that she has a shot, albeit a long one, at breaking the women's 100-meter world record set by Florence Griffith Joyner in the quarterfinals of the U.S. Olympic trials of 1988. Although she may not yet be on the level of Thompson-Herah or Fraser-Price, many are optimistic that we have yet to see the best of Richardson. That said, if Sha'Carri can stay fit and healthy through 2023, she may just be there to challenge the legendary Thompson-Herah and Fraser-Price when the medals are on the line at Paris 2024. For now, let's keep an eye out. Someone you should also watch out for is Sydney McLaughlin. Watch this to find out why.